Technology. Uh, I'm sorry, is this on? Oh, on? Hello? Hear me? You hear me? Devil, hear me? God, do you hear me, God? All right. He hears us. All right. So, technology. It is an achievement that changes our life. We use it in our daily basis from morning to night to middle of the night. I don't know what 3 a.m. doing. And yeah, it is something that we use in our daily lives that really changes us all. We sometimes use it to order food, to play video games, to communicate with people, and so on. The possibility is endless. My name is Zidan, and today I am going to talk about what is technology, how to use technology, and many more about technology. Now, what is technology? It is some type of achievement that we created by sometimes we have in devices and many more else, like electric guitars, TVs, this big ass screen over here, this big screen, see it? And so on. But the technology that I want to talk about today is something like this, which is AI. Now, in my experiences with AI, I use it to sometimes study and sometimes to gain knowledge and many more from AI. Like this to this. Lots of things I've done with AI, and yes, thankfully it helped with my life. It helped me pass this 10th grade. Now I'm in 11th. And what I want to talk about really is how can we use AI? What are the pros and what are the cons? And can we actually use it in classrooms, like something like that? Now, from the pros of AI, it can actually help us with studying and doing our exams and things like that. It really helps us study and gain knowledge, like a lot of knowledge. From top to bottom, full on knowledge. But there are also some cons in AI, like we can use them to cheat, to do other things, and just to gain knowledge that are just out of our minds. And you cannot use that. But in AI, we can actually use it for a lot better things. If we use it correctly, we can actually gain knowledge, give knowledge to other people, and so on. But the thing is, in this modern era, people actually sometimes use technology to cheat, to do things that aren't meant supposed to be. We can use it to search up things that I cannot say. But yeah, you get the idea. And that is a bad thing about this generation's use of AI. We mostly use it for bad things and never good things. Only a little bit. Only sometimes study and sometimes prepare for things, but we mostly cheat, we mostly do other things. Something like what? Let me think. What is it? Oh yeah, searching up things that we should not supposed to search. You know those kinds of things, right? Yes, I guess you do know. But we can actually also use them in classrooms. We can use AI to study things and search things that we cannot understand what our teacher is saying. It is also beneficial to the teacher that they don't actually have to teach us a lot. They just tell us the subjects and then we can search it up on our own. But that's only a little bit from me. The rest is going to my friend Abdan. Take it away, boy. Oh, thank you.
Hi. Hello. Oh, wait. Sorry, technical difficulties. It's off. This already on. I'm sorry for the little bit of inconvenience. So, hello everyone, my name is Abdan, and in today's really special occasion, I'm going to be, having talk, as TED Talk about, this, oh, sorry, this thing, AI, technology, and education, pros, cons, and potential. So, first things first, before, I dive in a little deeper, I would like, to talk about, sorry, to remind us a bit about what artificial intelligence or AI is. And, in today's world, like AI has been a really big topic lately. And please raise your hand if you know what AI is. No, all right, maybe. Most of you know, I'm sure. So AI, if you don't understand the Google definition here, well, AI is basically, like something like that can think. That's brain that can, speak or even see. That was, artificial, made by humans, hence artificial intelligence. That's why it's called AI here. And next up, let's talk about education. More specifically, the education system. So the education system right now is, still pretty basic. The teacher come and, explain all the things on the board, the whiteboard. Maybe like, what's 1 plus 1? Oh, 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. And we've used that system for, probably hundreds of years. And, yet we've already invented all of this, great technology. And, most schools of the world, they still, don't use these technologies, which is, a shame. Because, like, humans, we've invented so much technologies, and yet we, really use them rarely in the education system. And as we know, the education system is actually the backbone of humanity. If you don't go to school, you don't know nothing. Can get job, can get money and stuff. And that's what the education system today is. Still really basic, and I feel like that if we rework or revamp the education system, and more specifically by, in like incorporating maybe like AI or technology more to schools, then maybe it can get better. Like maybe education tomorrow, it will be like 100 times better than today, just because we revamped it a bit. Because the same system we've already used for hundreds of years, maybe even a century, maybe even since the Romans invented school. Like who knows? So that's why today I'm going to be explaining the pros and cons and the potential of doing this. So the first thing I'm going to be explaining is that there's a lot of advantages when it comes to using technology and AI in like the education system. But here I'm only going to be explaining the major ones. So the first advantage of incorporating technology into the education system overall is smarter students, because like right now, especially the younger generations, we've all been attached to technology, especially me also. And I feel like that with the assistance of technology and maybe with enough adjustments, then maybe students can learn better, they can understand it better. For example, like the teacher using a projector, they can explain and maybe give an image of the things they're explaining, so the students can understand it more easier and have an imagination of what they're going to learn. And the next one is that AI and technology nowadays, it's really cheap. Like I'm pretty sure most of us have phones, don't we? And with since technology is really cheap and all you need to access the internet is an internet connection obviously and a gadget, and as almost everyone has those nowadays, I feel like that most schools can afford to maybe spend some money on like more technology, maybe computers or phones, or maybe even AI, but AI is free. And since it's really cheap, not only like in really developed countries like in America or maybe in Japan can apply these things, but also maybe schools in really small countries or countries that maybe are you know not that developed if you compare it to really developed countries. And that also means that it's really accessible. It's globally, worldwide accessible. Like maybe if you, for example, you want to access ChatGPT, maybe you're like in America, of course you can. And even if maybe you're in maybe Germany or France, of course you can still access it. As long as you have your gadget still and an internet connection, that's all that matters. Access the AI. And that means that schools all over the world, they can do this as it's really cheap, and they can also access it. But however, as everything has its goods, also everything has its bads. So now I would like us to imagine for a while a knife, the sharp metallic object that we use to cut stuff. Yeah. So if you give a knife to a chef, what will he do? Cook stuff, of course. Maybe he can prepare a delicious dinner or meal for us. That's all good stuff. If you give a knife to a good person, then he will do good stuff. But if you give a knife to, let's say, a thief or a criminal or maybe a deranged psychopath, who knows, not good things will happen. Like the thief, that can threaten someone with a knife to give their wallet or something, and the criminal that can end someone's lives. And that goes the same for AI. AI, if you give it to maybe a responsible student, and also technology, of course, the student can do great things, can do good things. But if you give it to a bad student, then he can do bad things. And these are two examples of bad things that can happen. So the first one is, AI and technology, maybe phones and the internet, they can be used to cheat in exams. Like it's as simple as going on Google and searching up the question, and of course it's going to pop up, and oh, the answer is B, the answer is C. It's as simple as that. And since technology is really cheap and globally available, as I said before, that means that almost every bad guy can access it. And the next one is that people always say that technology and phones, they can make you addicted. And yeah, that's true, because if you rely too much on technology, maybe you rely too much on your phone, then of course you might lose your basic skills. Maybe you might forget what's 2 times 2. Maybe you might forget what's 3 times 3. Who knows? That's why we can always rely on technology, and also technology can still make mistakes like us. Well, I know it's rare, but it's still a possibility that technology can still make mistakes. As technology were invented by humans, and humans, we do make mistakes. And next up, I'm going to be explaining about some of the potential of incorporating this idea into the education system. So the first one is that it can really make society a lot better. As I said before, as it improves the education system, and as education is really the backbone of humanity, well then, if we improve the education system, then other things such as maybe the economy and other good stuff can also improve, because we improve the education system. And that means, well, the whole of society will improve. And the second one is basically profit. So what I mean by profit is that us students, we're always looking for the best schools to learn in. But of course, good schools usually come with a hefty price. But AI and technology, they can give 5 stars of education and yet only spend $1 or 2. That's really cheap, which means students, they can go to any school and still receive really good education just for a tiny price. And this is also good for schools, as schools, they also want to give really good education to their students so that their students feel that their money is worthwhile. And since they can use AI and technology, and that's cheap also, as schools also want to make profit, well then it's also good for schools, as many students will come to the place and learn. And not only schools and students will get profit, but almost everyone will get profit, as as I said before, if we incorporate the system, well then smarter students will be produced more by schools. And companies, like big companies, let's say like Apple or Windows, they are usually looking to hire new employees from students who receive really good education. So which means that more jobs are open, and companies, they don't need to like really spend that much time looking for employees, which means better things for the world. And now I would like to say that the this idea is actually just an imagination I've had for like maybe like 5 years or 4 years. Sometimes I do get scolded by my parents for playing games at school and all that sort of stuff. But I always thought they really never gave gadgets in schools a chance. Well, yes, I know that some schools and maybe universities, they do allow you to bring your laptop and other sorts of gadgets. But I'm talking about like the majority of schools worldwide. Most of them always decline that gadget is bad, and technology, they will make you addicted. And well, yes, some of that is true. They never really try to think how to put this to work, as I feel like this idea is like many kids have this. Like I always discuss with my friends back in primary school how it would be like if schools actually successfully put the system. And we always usually think good things will happen, but yet schools, or really any institution mostly, never really think to maybe adjust this. That's why I want you all to think maybe how to improve the system, as I know that my idea isn't really perfect and it's really just bare bones, but that's why I need your help to maybe expand upon the idea, maybe add more stuff, or maybe fix the mistakes that are in it. And that's pretty much all I have to say. But before I close this presentation, I'm going to quote an American psychologist and educator, also philosopher, John Dewey. If we teach today as we taught yesterday, then we rob our children of tomorrow. Now, that sounds scary, doesn't it? And yes, it does. It does sound scary. In fact, it's scary, really scary. So, basically, essentially what this means is that, we've still used the same education system for like hundreds of years, as I said before, and yet we've already got new knowledge going on, new technologies invented, but yet we still refuse to, let the students try out, or even, give a free trial to the students, I guess. And that basically means that we're, preventing the students from gaining new experiences, gaining new knowledge, which, means we're robbing them of their future. So I hope that this doesn't happen. And my name is Abdan and Djuandi from SMP Boarding School. I hope that, we all can get something, maybe a thing or two from this. And, well, and thank you for, all your attention.